We all have friends and acquaintances, but how many of us can tell what our friends are going through or maybe the desires of their heart? How can you tell what they need or what they want without them actually letting you know? There's a story in the Bible, in the book of Second Kings, that talks about a relationship that was established that I would hope that we would aspire to be as this relationship was portrayed with our friends. It's the story of the Shunammite woman. Second Kings chapter 4, starting with verse 11, reading from the English Standard Version. It says, "One day he came there, and he turned into the chamber and rested there. And he said to Gehazi his servant, 'Call this Shunammite.' When he had called her, she stood before him. And he said to him, 'Say now to her, see, you have taken all this trouble for us. What is to be done for you? Would you have a word spoken on your behalf to the king or to the commander of the army?' She answered, I dwell among my own people." Basically, this story, and we're going to touch on a little more aspects of it, but basically this story is the story of a woman that she comes from a well-off background. Elisha would come and he would visit, and while he was in the area, she saw him on a regular basis. She decided, after speaking to her husband, that she would build and erect a place where Elijah could come in and rest. Now, this relationship established, and over time, any time that he was in that area, he would come and he would stay with them. He started to learn about the woman, started to learn about her husband. And the thing that was developed is that she never expressed what she wanted or what she needed, but based on the relationship and his observation, he was able to see the desires of her heart. Let's continue reading. It says, he said in verse 15, "Call her." And when he had called her, she stood in the doorway. And she said, "At this season, about this time next year, you should embrace a son." And she said, "No, my lord, O man of God, do not lie to your servant." Now you have to understand, Elisha wasn't told what she wanted, but that close relationship that was developed showed him something that was deep inside of her. Sometimes we have relationships with people and we don't look past the surface. We don't look past just it could be hanging out or going various places, but sometimes there's desires and there's needs and there's wants that are under the surface. And if we pay a little more attention and we actually aspire to know a little bit more, to go a little bit deeper, these things will come through. Elijah saw that the biggest desire of her heart was to have a son. Verse 17 says, but the woman conceived, and she bore a son about that time the following spring, as Elijah had said to her. What a blessing it was that Elijah was able to pray to God, and then the desires of the woman's heart, along with the prayer of Elijah, granted her that thing that she utmost wanted, that thing that she wanted so deeply. And I'm just taking out the part of this story where our relationships should be as such that we are so close-knit that even without saying, what is it that you need? Or what is it that you need from me? What can I do for you? These are the type of relationships that I hope that we can establish. Take a page out of the story of the Shunammite woman and Elisha. Be blessed.